mission is lost. Who are you to defy me?
I've heard enough of his orders. We need to take control of this ship. Combaticons, combine into Bruticus!
All right, look at that kneecap. Hold on. Did not position my camera properly. All right, there we go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're back with another diorama, and probably the last one for a little while. This is gonna be the last Decepticon shelf that I gotta do, and yeah, it's gonna be housing my Magic Square Combaticons. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be doing a lot of it's gonna be kind of similar to the one we did for Bruticus. It's gonna kind of be the same sort of beach setting, but a little bit different background, a little bit different vibe for it. And obviously we have some of these little markings, and this is for some military vehicles I have. I'll get to in a minute once we get there. But I basically got these like military vehicles off of Temu, and they're like kind of like model, like really small like model elements that I'll be placing in here. We'll be painting them up, and then we'll be covering the whole thing with sand afterwards. I think that's gonna be kind of the plan here, because the idea is to kind of have this be like kind of a shipwrecked sort of environment, almost like, you know, not shipwrecked, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's meant, because it's basically meant to be based off of the Starscream's Brigade episode where he goes to this island and he finds all these military vehicles and all that, and he kind of uses that as a base for all the Combaticons. So that's what we're doing here today. So felt like a fitting location for them, even as a team, as well as combined forms. So that's what we're doing. But we will make it a little bit different. Like the backdrops will be a lot different. It's gonna be more, because the Bruticus shelf, it had a lot more water in it. Like it was kind of like more of like kind of like it's kind of like a weird angle. It's kind of like you get more of a view of the water than you do the island. So this one's gonna be more island based. So just add a little bit of difference. So yeah, so we're gonna start off with a base coat of brown. Not gonna do too much craziness for the brown on this part here, anyways, on the whites, just because you're not gonna really see a whole lot of brown. It's just kind of meant to be kind of like almost like insurance, almost, for a diorama, for lack of better terms. It's kind of just meant to, you know, in case some little pockets of white kind of show through it in the end, there's at least gonna be some sort of a statement gray. So we'll we'll do brown for the white parts, and then the pink parts are gonna be all rock work, so grays and all that. We'll probably add some like vegetation, like greens and all that too. And then we'll do some water work, which is obviously not exactly the most watery looking color right now, but just the way I was using. So let's get started. Usually I'd start with the base layer. Get that out of the way. But yeah, I'm hoping this one won't take too long. I don't think it will, because there's not a whole lot that needs to be done on both the back and base layer. But you know, you never know. I'll just kind of get the edges of the water here, just in case. And I don't know if you can hear it. I can't really hear it over the mic, but yeah. If you hear it, there's a lot of like construction going on outside. So if you hear it, then sorry, can't really control it. They're still remodeling the driveway, the complex here. So Just get the edges just so we can make sure it's all covered up nicely. But obviously, we'll be going in with some kinetic sand, like we did with the with the Bruticus shelf. So I like using that stuff. Actually, it was actually a lot of fun using kinetic sand because it's stays together nicely. So, but I will need to glue it in some areas, like the edges and stuff like that, just so it doesn't pop out, for lack of better terms. Here, I'll just get a plate for the brown. Yes, as we go, we'll do ground, rocks, and then water. It's going to be kind of our goal here. And in between, we'll be working on some of the military vehicle elements I was talking about earlier. It's a really small one. Dig in. Make sure I'm not going to spend too much time on these little cracks, though, because I will be covering them up with some sand, so I'm just going to get what I can. There's no use in spending too much time working on an area that you don't really need to work that much time on. Well, yeah, after this diorama, actually, I'll be going straight into room planning, because I do want to get the renovations started. Not renovations, not like a full house rework, but just a little remodeling, rather, in the basement down here. For the Lego room. It's going to be right. That way I can kind of make this whole space here just for Transformers. For the most part, because there's one idea I want to kind of phoning about in that room there, but first things first, I need to get this space sort of figured out, and then figure out what I can do in that space, And right now, the going plan is to do bookshelves and a table. Table for like a building space or a city or whatever I want to do, and then here's edges real quick. And then the shelves would be bookcases, or the top of the bookshelves would be for like my Lego displays or storage or whatever. That's gonna be kind of like the plan. But yeah, these blockies I've been getting, they've been kind of messing with my plans in my mind, because it's like now I kind of want to do something for them. So we'll see. So I don't want to do a diorama out there, because then that kind of limits me to what I can do with other things. So gotta think that through a bit more before I commit. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to do any sort of second coating here with the brown. It's just going to be one simple color. Doesn't need to be perfect here for what we're going for. God, the guns outside are fucking noisy. Jesus. Just a little bit more brown. Use my smaller brush, getting the little cracks. But like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about them. I'll show you. Paint me a bit better. Weird angle. All right. Like I said, I'll be the last time I think I put like clay underneath. That kind of helped with the sand, but I'm not gonna do that today. This one needs to be kind of nice and flat. Can't be a whole lot of elevation in the shelf because the Onslaught's a big boy. He has big cans on his back, so I can't do too much with that. So gotta be more of a flat surface here with the sand. Let's bring it just a bit closer. Yeah, it's kind of, you gotta be kind of careful when you're working with the clay and foam because the clay can really throw off the balance a little bit. It's fully dry. Okay, I think it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. Won't spend too much time on that. Just kind of thin up the paint here real quick. It's getting a little still wet in a few areas. Just want to try and dry that out as much as we can. Just probably the sides actually. Okay, let's let that dry. Send that out as well. Okay, leave it off to the side, and we'll figure out what we want to do with the vehicle stuff. All right. No, just knocking everything over. All right, so this is what I was kind of thinking of, I was talking about earlier with the military vehicles. So I have this little tank here, which I kind of beat the shit out of with the hammer. So you kind of see it's like nice and indented because I want to kind of have that sort of feel. So there's like a lot of cracks in this thing. All deliberate. Sometimes you can do that for what you can do. Which I don't need this at all. Yeah, kind of like the angle. We're gonna go right over here in this corner here, and then we have these two little things here as well, and they're gonna go right in the corners here. one, so a little different shape. Then we got this busted ass helicopter that I fucked up purposely, obviously. So it's gonna go right in this corner right here, like kind of like right where Swindle goes. So yeah, we're just gonna get to work doing some dry brushing on these guys, and then I'll do some sort of what we're gonna do with these guys. Like, I guess we just take a beige. We'll start with the brown. We'll do a beige, and we'll kind of do some greens on for the tank, or yeah. That's what we'll do. We'll just do a green, some brown, and then we'll do some dry brushing. I think that'll be it for these guys. That's all we really need. And these guys just need some dry brushing and get. So just add that weathering effect. So start with you guys. Go from there. Let's grab a plate, you guys. Try and treat them differently than the others. So, all right. Use the same browns. I'll do a brown for all of it as much as we can. Yeah, do brown for all of it, then we'll do some greens and all that, yeah. Doesn't need to be perfect here. Just needs enough details kind of work for what we're going for. Yeah, we have 5 days off actually this week, so I'll be doing all of this next couple days. So hopefully today we get a lot of the boring and tedious stuff done. And the next few days will probably be smooth sailing. Not too worried about not filling in all the grays, because I think it'd probably add some extra. I might add a little bit extra detail to it just by not filling it all the way in. But yeah. Still do what we can. Should kind of punch it into there. Might take a while for you guys to dry. There's a lot of like really small little nooks, you know. So try to get as much as we can. Like I said, I'm not going to be too married to the idea of like getting all of it like fully filled in, because I think that sometimes having these little gray little cracks might actually add some detail, you know, like an extra layer of color, you know. And you're likely not going to see most of these guys anyways, because it'll be covered by sand and all that stuff. So maybe put some like moss effects on it. So some grass elements I got. Got a shit ton now, actually, those. Like a whole like cup full of grass on Timu. Might get more actually, because there's a lot of different colors of grass you can get. So like I said, trying to get as much as we can here. There's a lot of really crazy little cracks in there. So crazy cracks. All right. It's one down. Do a better job showing that. That angle looks like a turd. But there we go so far. This little tank, it's kind of hard to see. It's like a big pop hoop the way it looks right now. Right. Some more paint. Yeah, we'll work on the other one. Watching the base coat for this off air, that way I can just kind of do dry brushing for this, but whatever. It's like we're almost done a whole bottle. And it's a new one too. But it's necessary. Luckily, I have more brown. It's not a big deal. I do have a feeling this one will be a really sharp shelf, actually, once it's all done. It's got this feeling. The real world environments usually are the best ones, to be honest. I always kind of like doing these ones the most. Just because they're a bit more simple, not a whole lot of it's very, very rudimentary sort of skills needed to kind of complete them. It's not really all that complicated. Same way as like the Tokyo shelf or the city streets we just did. You know, because nature is imperfect, and so you can do whatever you want with it, basically. Not whatever you want, obviously within reason, but yeah, it's a bit more freedom, a bit more things you can get away with, right? Yeah. As opposed to real world environments, or Cybertron environments that are meant to be a bit more mechanical and more straight on, all of that stuff. Just let that dry now. It's good enough. Any areas I feel like need covered up, I can put some grass in there or something. Okay. Scrub. Let's see. I'll get some sleep. Use a different book for this. I always work on these guys. These little vehicles. Towels. And let's see. Just take them all out, and we'll place them back in as we see fit. There's a tank. Make sure we kind of keep their parts in the same area. This paint's all liquidy. Not sure if I'm using this piece anymore, but I'll get it down just in case. I don't need to do too much work on these guys because I did do some a wash the other day. Kind of same way I did the one for the Combaticon shelf with the cars there. I kind of just dipped it into a big bowl of water filled with paint and then just kind of let it sit for a day. Kind of created this nice little wash effect on the vehicle parts. Yeah, I might just have these guys like kind of sticking out of the ground and stuff like that, like kind of just like poking out. The sand, rather. Probably need another color for these guys, but we'll see what we got. So far. All right, that's the tank. And we'll do the helicopter. I'm not sure what I'm doing too good. There we go. you guys up. There. I can go back in there. I do another color after this, and then that'll probably be it. There's like the tail end of the helicopter here, so it's gonna be kind of sticking out of the ground. It's gonna be kind of like maybe it's like chopped off or something that are torn apart. Some point when it fell. So. There's a little bent, kind of took the blades off the helicopter, kind of like just like bent them and all this shit. Just made them look damaged, like beyond repair. Kind of like the purpose of this shelf. Like almost like a graveyard, but for military equipment and all that. So I think it's cool. I did actually buy a Jeep actually, because I was trying to get the vehicles that were like the Combaticons, but the Jeep was way too big. So now it just kind of sits in a box. Yeah, it's good for actually weighing stuff down. It's pretty heavy, so that's what I kind of use it for now. If I ever need to weigh down some glue items need to be glued down or on a shelf or something, I just use that now. All right, that's good enough. Let's see. Well, I can probably start a little bit started on the rock work. I just can't really do the edges much because I need to wait for the browns to dry on the base there. Actually, I'll do another color to dry brush real quick on the things here. I'll do a different. Oop. How are you falling over? Look at green. Well, old green. Tank. This kind of looks like a moss almost, like kind of like a light layer of moss on it. I kind of like that. All right. That's for you from my vehicles right now. Nice and weather now. A little too bright. Oh, there we go. Hell yeah. Trying to fix the exposure here. Lighting isn't my strong suit in these streams, but yeah, a little bit from yeah. And I guess we're gonna start on the rock work here for at least a little bit of it until all going. Cheap ass fucking plate. I just got on a whim the other day at the grocery store. Yeah, I'm super athletic. Spin me around, and we'll do the top hats. Let's do this. That's kind of the bottom layer for now. Let's do the tops. Brown's still drying like an asshole. Oh, where is it? Other side. Not too worried if I get any gray on the brown parts. Most important thing is just kind of getting the grays in because you're not going to be seeing most of the browns anyways. The sand's in there. All right. Well, a little bit more. Okay. Probably should paint these platforms before gluing them in. Oh. Note to self, don't do this way. Never again. Ah, well. I don't mind. What's this doing? Get out of here. This is so bad. Oh, that's too much of a flip. There we go. I kind of like the mix of the gray and the brown here. It's kind of cool. All right. I'm just going to try and thin that out as much as possible. it's dry. I might be able to get. Looks there's the brown, still kind of dry on the water there. So I'll kind of like thin out some of the paint here. Not going to be caring too much about what color this is at the end of it because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's going to be covered by sand. I'm just going to kind of thin out some of this other paint, still drying on the waterfront here. It's kind of one of those things where it's kind of you have to kind of wait for the process, kind of, but it makes sense. You know, kind of how it works with the art. So it starts off looking ugly until you find a way to make it look pretty. Basically, how it kind of works. A little bit goes down. Right. Okay. So it needs to be thinned down a bit. Yeah, I think we're gonna add some like the grass sort of elements along the edges of it. Yeah, obviously with our trees, kind of a bunch of like palm trees and stuff like that, and some leaf elements that they'll be using. So, but mostly in the corners here, can't do a whole lot in this space right here because that's where all the bots are gonna go. So like if onslaught right here, vortex, blast off, swindle, brawl, and it's kind of go down here. But I also want to kind of make it so where I can kind of swap them around so they all kind of fit in these little spaces. Like you can kind of like one guy's gonna go like right here, and then one's up here. You know, like because obviously we have the helicopter and the tanks kind of considered here as well. So, but this should all work just fine. Right. Just thin that out. I want it dry. It'll let you dry. And so we'll wait for that. We can do some work on the sky for the backdrop. So a quick switch through. Just gonna take the base layer. Make sure not to touch anything valuable. Yeah, I'll leave you right here. All right. Turn it over. And my little brown things are still drying, so. Step on you. And it looks like kind of like a greenish, sort of bluish sky. Kind of like a muddy sort of thing. Do a mix of 3 different foods here. Oh, fine. So the back layer. You know what? Try and get all of it in one go. right, left, and middle. Okay. Let's see. So dark. Along the table. No, that's okay. We'll do this. Move your asses. One there, one here, and one in the middle. Okay. So this beach glass, yeah, on wrap glass. And then some blue. Oop. There we go. Back well done. All right, that's your pretty happy with the way the sky turned out for once. Usually I mess it up on the first go, but I'm liking this. Like the color for it. Just make sure I got all my spots here. Nothing behind. All right. Okay. Let that dry for a bit. Looks like the back layer is still drying too, so I might just call it a wrap for now and then come back a little bit later today when everything's dry. We can kind of come in, pick up where we left off, and yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do right now because everything's still drying. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And she'll follow my lines through. Nice. Just make sure we're on point here. Let's do a little bit more over here, just in case I want to do a little dip with the mountains. So I have a little bit of like a mountain sort of a vibe here. That's good enough. We'll work around it. We can always go a little bit higher anyways too, so yeah, it's all good. Leave the sky alone so I don't ruin it anymore. It usually happens when I'm trying to fix stuff. Since I'm not fixing it at all. All right, so I think that's going to be it for me, at least for now anyways. So I'll be back probably, let's see, what time is it? Almost 12. It's like 11:30. So maybe around 3 o'clock. So maybe a couple hours or so. We'll come back to this. So I'm still waiting for some paint to dry in a few areas, like the rocks and all that. So I can't really do much. I'll see if I can do the water real quick. I just want to do like a base coat of white over it all. So I might try doing that. And then that'll probably be it for this stream anyways. But it'll probably be a second, maybe third stream today. Depends on how much I want to get done. And how long it takes for stuff to dry. So I'll just leave you around. Yeah. Dry. You dry. Hopefully I'll get paint on the ground here. Okay, well, I might be able to do like a really quick base coat of white, but that'll probably be it. So we can just do the water, and that'll probably be it for the stream today. Or at least for the morning anyways. We'll do probably stream today, so. Wait. But yeah, the water actually will be doing kind of the same thing we did with the Bruticus shelf, where we had like different colors, like blues and purples, and I'll do like kind of washes for all that. That'll be good. A quick white, just to kind of get a base color in here. Identify the water real quick, you know the vibes. I was gonna sand it, but I kind of like it being a bit more rougher. The water here kind of helps add to the vibe of the team, you know. Having the water, even the environment should, I think, kind of evoke the team as well. That would be a bit more rugged. Like I said, not too worried about what kind of goes onto the brands here because I just need. Because I'll be covering it up with sand later. Do you like that kind of rough waves here? Washing up on the floor. I think that's what the most of the water here is going to be. It's just like me adding washes, like just blue wash and then do a purple wash. I think that'll be the best way to do this one. I think it'll add more natural sort of look for the water too. I have actually thought about doing like silicone for like water effects and stuff like that. I might try that for the Jetfire shelf because I'm gonna have like an ice sort of a surface for that one. So it might be for that to kind of make it more smooth looking, you know. But we'll see. These big chunks out of the way and we'll fix it up as we go. Let's grab the edges. One in the corner. I might use more aqua-like colors for the water here. That'll be kind of cool. Make it more vibrant, you know. I think it would contrast well too with like the other dull colors like the sand and all that. But yeah, we'll see how we want to do the water. So filling in these little cracks here, just like can. So to speak. Hope that wasn't too much. Oop, shit. It's falling apart. I'm knocking everything down. Just making sure I get everything as much as possible. If not, I can always cover up some blue later on. I don't think I want to do another coating of white here. Just want to kind of identify the water here more so. But yeah, so I think the process I'm going to do here is going to be to paint the water, paint the rocks, and then we'll do the sand on top. And then we'll glue the tank elements and all that into the big chunks. I mean, not like the smaller bits. I'll just kind of like haphazardly throw around, but like the one like the big helicopter and the tanks and all that, they'll all be glued in. And I already kind of mapped out where they're supposed to go, and so we'll do that once those guys are ready to go. I need to get the wait for the other ones need to dry, but yeah, that's gonna be kind of the process for hopefully today. Hopefully I can get a lot of that done today. If not, we'll probably get to it tomorrow because I have to wait for those fucking tank things to dry because they're taking forever. But and also the grays need to dry, so I'll kind of just like let it sit for the day. Come back to it in a couple hours maybe. I want to make sure everything's fully dry before I get back into it, just because it'll be easier for me. So, yeah, thanks for anyone who was lurking. And it was kind of a weird sort of time for me to stream, but yeah, I'll be back later today sometime. So I'll catch you guys next time.